Hi there, freelance friends. Thank you for joining me. Always happy to have you here. So, as we've discussed, freelancing can be exciting, flexible, and deeply rewarding, but it also comes with a big challenge. That is, you are the engine that keeps your business moving forward. We do not have a boss checking in, we don't have quarterly reviews, and we do not have automatic momentum unless we create it. Some weeks that feels empowering. Other weeks it can feel a little overwhelming. That's why I personally like to occasionally pause and ask myself a simple but powerful question. One that keeps me accountable and focused on growth. If you're a freelancer or thinking about becoming one, I really encourage you to also reflect on this question. Ask yourself and sit with it a few minutes. Specifically, ask yourself, have you done anything to move your freelance journey forward this week? Fortunately, your actions don't have to be something big or glamorous to move you forward on your freelancing path. You don't necessarily need to launch a new website, land a dream client, or redesign your portfolio overnight in order to be successful. But you do need to take some action, even small action, because it matters. The truth is that what often separates successful freelancers from the ones who are still thinking about it is that successful freelancers continue to take action. They keep moving their path and their energy forward. Remember, ideas and good intentions are wonderful, but they don't make you money on their own. Implementing those ideas and good intentions is what moves you forward and makes you money. So if you've been stuck in planning mode, try shifting yourself into doing mode. I have a few small but powerful actions that I would recommend starting with. They're not overly challenging, and I found that when you do them, they do send that energy in the right direction and start to move you forward. It's almost as though you're letting the universe know that you are trying, that you are doing your part, that you are starting to take some action. The first one is send just one outreach message. You know that potential client you've been meaning to follow up with? Send them an email. Connection fuels opportunity. And although it may not be an immediate opportunity for you to get paying work, you're putting yourself in front of them, you're putting yourself top of mind, and oftentimes they will think of you when an opportunity does later arise, if they don't have one in the immediate future. The second one is update your website or portfolio. Even add one new project or testimonial to help you look more current and confident. Third, set up a system that's going to help you for the long haul. Maybe you create an invoice template that you can use over and over again. Maybe you organize your client files so that accessing what you need in the future is quick and easy, saving you time. Or maybe it's automating a simple workflow that is going to pay you in time dividends over and over again. These behind the scenes moves free up not only time, but mental space. And in both cases, that can equate with more opportunities to bring in money. Next, post something, whether it be a tip, an insight, or a behind-the-scenes story about your work. Visibility attracts clients. Again, it keeps you top of mind. It's one of the reasons that I started this podcast. It was my way of doing something small that will hopefully continue to propel me on my path forward in my freelancing journey. Fingers crossed. Last, invest in learning, even if it's just an hour. Watch a tutorial, listen to a podcast, take a mini course, or read about marketing your services. Learning is one of those invaluable investments, in my opinion. They will help you grow, and it's always an investment in your earning potential because you know more. Now, each of these tips that I gave are very small tasks. They should be manageable for you to accomplish, as each one will only take you between 15 minutes and 1 hour. I wouldn't call any of them overwhelming. Now, if you're really feeling motivated this week, try stringing together a few of these, and suddenly you're giving your freelance business traction. Now, as we know, freelancing is a long game, meaning that when you first decide that you want to start a freelance business and you put out your freelance shingle to let people know that you're available and what services you are offering, you may not have people beating down the door immediately. It's going to take some time. But as long as you keep taking those small steps, you're going to continue to move the needle forward. I'd like to just take a moment and share my own small action from last week that gave me a real result. So last week, I sent a quick reminder email to a client who had promised me a small bonus for a project that I completed. Writing the email took me less than 2 minutes. Now, I will admit, I did probably procrastinate a little longer than I should have because I didn't want to seem pushy. I had reached out a couple of weeks ago. I hadn't gotten a response back. I wanted to make sure that I gave them time to respond, but after 2 weeks, I figured that was enough time. So I sent them a reminder about it, and it ended up having significance because this time they did respond. They thanked me for the reminder, and they told me that I should be receiving that bonus soon. Again, fingers crossed. So that one small action that took me 2 minutes did bring in some real movement and a little extra income. And sometimes that small action is all it takes. And many small actions can also create a bigger impact that can build and grow over time when you continue to follow through on a commitment. Some of you may remember that I called out The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy as one of my favorite and most recommended books. I feel that many of the ideas that were mentioned in his book effectively relate to the content of this podcast, in that it reinforces the idea of taking continual small steps to move yourself forward. In his book, Hardy explains that lasting success doesn't come from one big time win in most cases. Instead, it comes from those small, smart choices that we make day after day. As he puts it in his book, small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equals a radical difference. That simple formula has really stuck with me over the years because it's true. In life in general, but especially in freelancing. When you're building a freelance career, the results aren't always immediate. Sending one outreach email might not land the client today. Updating your portfolio might not bring instant leads. But over time, these small, consistent actions compound. They create more opportunities, visibility, and confidence than you realize at the moment. As Hardy said in his book, it's the small things done consistently over time that make the biggest difference. Let me repeat that because it's important. It's the small things done consistently over time that make the biggest difference. And that really is the heart of it. Success in freelancing and in life in general isn't about doing everything perfectly or all at once. It's about showing up consistently, taking those small steps, and trusting that they'll build into something meaningful over time. So think of each message that you send, each piece of content that you create, each system that you put in place as part of the compounding effect that Hardy talks about in his book, which, if you haven't guessed, I highly recommend that you read. I will put the link in the comments for you in case you're interested. So as you think about your own freelance journey this week, remember, it's not about doing everything. It's about doing something. One intentional action that moves you forward. For instance, for me, about 4 months ago, I made a commitment to myself to create and share freelance-focused videos consistently. It was a promise that I made to myself to show up, to expand my impact, and to serve others who are navigating the freelance world. And so far, so good. Here we are on episode 34, and I'm still showing up twice a week, sharing information. I've followed through. Every week I've produced content that I believe will help freelancers think, act, and build stronger, more intentional businesses. Now, staying consistent isn't easy. I'm very busy with my freelance projects and my life outside of work. But I feel that staying consistent will help my visibility over time. I know that at least in the interim, it's benefited me by deepening my confidence and my purpose. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. And confidence ends up creating income and impact. So my challenge for you for this week, yes, I have a challenge this week. I know that that's new, but I feel that this will only benefit you. Pick one small action that moves your freelance work forward. Do it today. Whether you send the pitch, update your bio, create that invoice, try a new tool, follow up on that lead, you choose. But commit and do it. Don't wait for the perfect timing or perfect clarity. It's unlikely that the perfect time or the perfect clarity will ever come. Take imperfect action now. And I promise that the progress and likely the income will follow at some point. In summary, Implementation is going to be what brings you forward and likely makes you more money. But it will also build belief in yourself. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that you take inspired action. I would love to know if you'd like to write it in the comments. And if this has been helpful to you, please like and subscribe. I have made the commitment to show up with information that I've learned along the way and share it with others who may be getting started or a little bit earlier on their path than I am. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.